Everyone knows how to do social media, but they don't know how to do marketing. Three trends in digital dentistry you think will change the shape of dentistry in the next 2 to 3 years?
1, 2, and 3 are all the same answer. Automation.
You mentioned that we are in 2024, right?
Right.
I think when you started, which would have been late 90s, I would say, in the dental and the ortho side of things, like there was no web. I think very few clinics would have got even a basic web presence, right?
Sure.
And you still see that happening to date.
That's $250,000 a year plus of just people finding you online without much effort there. So you have to have an online presence.
Maybe the practice that where, as you said, the grandfather was a dentist, their father was a dentist, it's more like a family clinic. Maybe they don't feel that they should be present online. Is that one of the reasons that people give you? Hi guys, so welcome to another new episode of the Digital Dentistry Deep Dive podcast. So today's episode, we have with us Dean Steinman. Dean is the president of Ortho Marketing. Ortho Marketing handles the marketing and the digital side of things for orthodontic practices and dental practices all through US. He is a veteran in his field, has spent a couple of decades when it comes to marketing, when it comes to the digital tools and techniques for the ortho side of dentistry, but also in general dentistry itself. A super episode, you will like it, where we kind of dig deep into the science behind the marketing and all the other things when it comes to the ortho side of marketing. This would give all the dentists who and orthodontists who want to start their clear line of businesses and are thinking of marketing or want to set up their marketing functions but don't know where to start from. This would be one of the best episodes that they can go back to and learn the principles or the marketing 101. So without waiting any further second, let's go deep into the deep dive podcast with Dean Steinman. Thank you. Hi guys, welcome to another new episode of the Digital Dentistry Deep Dive podcast. So today we have with us a very special guest. We have Dean Steinman. Dean is the president of Ortho Marketing. So Dean, welcome to the 4D podcast.
Oh, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. I'm excited to be on here.
So Dean, before we start and dig into the questions, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and share your experience to date?
You got it. All right. So my name is Dean Steinman. I'm the president and founder of Ortho Marketing. We are a company that is not just our name, that's what we do. We market orthodontics to dental practices all over the world. And very love what we do. We're in the smile business. I mean, how cool is that? I get to make people smile all day long and work with people that help people smile. And if you can make somebody smile, it's a good day. So, a little bit about me. I've been running a marketing company for over 25 years. I've been in this niche in this industry here for about 15, and I love it. I love to be creative and work with practices all over the world and help them bring in more new patients, help them take their practice to the next level. A little personal about me. If anybody does follow me on any of the social media, heard my podcast, and if you're a sports fan, you know that I'm a big Jets fan. Jets, Jets. So that's which is kind of a curse, but we love it. So it's my passion there, so I always, I'm having a good week, depending upon how the Jets did over the weekend on football, U.S. football. But at Ortho Marketing. A little bit about us. We work with practices all over the world. We help practices bring in new patients and help them move the needle, help them, reach their goals. And at the end of the day, we want to put butts in the seats, and that's what we do.
Great. Thanks, Dean. Thanks for the intro. So I think if we started talking about marketing and, getting people into the clinic as well. So there's this thinking about marketing in general, but especially when it comes to dental or the medical practices, that marketing is bad, right? Then one is the ethical side of dentistry, and then there is the selling side of dentistry. So what's your definition? How people see that currently, and how that perception could change in terms of why I should be doing marketing if I'm a dental practitioner?
In 2024, marketing is a must. All right, plain and simple. Marketing is not bad. The number one sector of advertising and money spent is pharmaceutical. All right. So if pharmaceutical could spend money on marketing and advertising and help, you with, getting medication for cancer or for, blood pressure, for what have you, it's making your life better. But when it comes to running a practice, you must market yourself. But marketing is a huge pie. There's a lot of components to it. It's not just running ads. It's making sure that you have a website that people. So especially if you get a referral, making sure people can get to it and get to your website and see who you are. It's important for you to make sure if somebody does a Google search and look for your services to find you. It's important that you have a captive audience of existing patients. Do they know what you do? If you don't tell patients that you offer Invisalign or clear aligners, they can go to somebody else. All right. So so marketing is a lot more than just running ads. It's omni. It's everywhere people are. You want to be in social media. People, there are certain demographics and ages that the first thing they'll do is go to an Instagram page to see what your practice is about. And if you have nothing there, they think you don't exist and they're going to move on. So there's a lot of components to it. I like to say that you can't bake a cake with just flour, or you can't have successful practice unless you have all the components of marketing. And so it's not just advertising. There's a lot of pieces involved in that pie.
Great. And why do you think that, so I think one aspect is that the patients who are consumers of your service or any other product, like you mentioned that the first thing that they will do is check out your website. Maybe they will just Google about you, check out your Instagram page. So I think people are looking for information. And why is that not all the dental practices or practitioners would have a web, the basic web presence? Like, where is that gap and why is there a gap?
It's the way that brought up a lot of people. It's a family business. There were so many of clients of ours whose father was a dentist and their grandfather was a dentist, and that's where they're brought up as conservative and old school, and which is great, and that's the family business. But at the same time, you have to adapt. There are so many options for people out there. Let's just talk about clear aligners, for example. There are so many options for people who want to get their teeth straightened. You've got direct-to-consumer programs. You've got people like Invisalign and Spark and Smile Direct Club, who just went bye-bye. And a lot of aligner companies out there that are marketing directly to the consumer. All right, so you need to get through that. It's a cosmetic type of procedure, so people potentially going to, if they want to get their teeth straightened, then somebody goes to quote, they're going to want to get a second quote. Just to make sure. So how are they going to find another person just to get a second quote or feel comfortable? Or they go into somebody and they don't feel comfortable, or just they don't get the warm and fuzzy, so they want to just look at somebody else. They're going to go online. They're going to Google it. If you're in a semi-busy market, guaranteed there are hundreds of people every day searching online for your services. Guaranteed. And if you don't have a website or an online presence, you're losing out on that pie. And can you afford to lose that on that pie? It's not like you're going to dominate it, but imagine getting 2, 3, 4, 5 new patients every month from the internet at a high ticket item. Imagine getting 5 people give you $5,000, each. That's $250,000 a year plus of just people finding you online without much effort there. So you have to have an online presence. It's 2024. It's the world we're in, and you must be where everybody's out there. So you have to have a website, plain and simple.
So it's very interesting because I think there are two questions. And first thing, because you couple of times you mentioned that we are in 2024, right? That's
right.
I think when you started, which would have been late 90s, I would say, in the dental and the ortho side of things, like there was no web. I think very few clinics would have got even a basic web presence, right?
Sure.
And you still see that happening to date as well. And how, like, I'm just thinking that how, and how much of that has changed. Do you still see that, maybe the practice that where, as you said, the grandfather was a dentist, their father was a dentist, it's more like a family clinic. Maybe they don't
Right.
feel that they should be present online. Is that one of the reasons that people give you that, why should we be online?
The biggest reason somebody says I don't want to market online is everybody knows me. I'm already getting a lot of business. Everybody knows me. I can work on word of mouth. Well, that's the biggest mistake you can make because every practice that we work with, everyone, the internet is a number one source of new patients. Everyone. And imagine that. Imagine that if you think that your existing patient, everybody in town knows who you are, okay, is the way to get business, you're wrong. And let's just say, let's back up. Let's just say you're right. Everybody in town knows who you are. But do you realize that a mile north, south, east, and west is another town, and nobody in those towns know who you are? And somebody will gladly drive a mile, a kilometer, whatever it is, to go see a qualified person, and they have no clue who you are. So there's a huge opportunity in just your surrounding areas that has no clue that you exist. And so to say everybody knows who you are, that's great. Everybody in town might know, and you might be the only one there. But imagine venturing out 5 minutes in each direction. How many more people you could find you? And that's what the internet will do. It expands your reach globally. I've got practices that people in the U.S. or people fly from Europe to come in. I got practices that people go to others from other states and other countries to go see them because the way that they're perceived and the way they're marketed as the expert in the field. And people want the best. So that's the way to do it because people want to get the smile they always dreamed of. They want to get their teeth brightened, cleaner, straighter. They're going to pay for it, but they want the best. And if you market yourself the right way, the sky's the limit.
And what split do you see, like on an average, when you are talking to your clients, like in terms of the retained customers and the new patients that come in? Like, what's the split like for these younger, let's say the new tech clinics that you see?
The lifeline of any business is new business. Plain and simple. If it's a dental practice, orthodontic practice, a car dealership, it's new business. But at the same time, it's a lot easier to sell to an existing customer to get a new one. There's an old rule called the 80-20 rule. 80% of your business could come from 20% of your customers if you do it the right way and you market to them and they become salespeople for you. And that's part of marketing. So imagine you run a successful practice and you're in a busy little town or city and you've got 1,000 active patients. Well, imagine if those patients all told their friends how great you are and how much you changed their life and how much you changed their daughter's life when she beforehand she had no confidence and she was very quiet, and now since she got her smiles, it brought her a whole new personality and she's so happy. That right there is going to make a difference by people talking to their peers, and that's called social proof. So what that means is you could crow to the cows come home how great you are. But imagine if your patients do it for you. And average person on Instagram or Facebook would have 2, 3, 400 people that follow them or friends with them. Imagine if 1,000 people are telling 2, 300 people how great you are. The world is it's going to open up crazy floodgates by just having a basic strategy in place. And marketing works, okay? Marketing is not an expense, it's an investment. And marketing has pretty much a guaranteed return of a minimum of 2x. So imagine you pick up the phone and call up your financial planner today, and he says, give me $20,000. I'm going to guarantee you to get 40,000 back off of that. What would you do? Here you go. Here you go. That's what marketing is. All right. We've got practices that are making 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, 15x on their money. Imagine spending $10,000 and bringing back 150,000. Imagine spending 50,000 and bringing back 700,000. That's how marketing works, because you have to put your name out there. If it's done the right way, you get a return on the investment, and it's phenomenal. But you have to have the right program in place. You have to be able to track it, automate it. There's a lot of new technologies out there that have to make things move faster and quicker. We're in a 24/7 world. So you have to be open 24 hours a day. That's what the world's about now. And your website should do that for you. So at the end of the day, to answer your question, you have to have a website. It's got to be a functional website. It has to work on mobile and it has to work on the computer. 75% of people who go to a dental practice website are doing it on the phone. It's a big number. So you have to make sure that your website is compatible. Make sure people can know who you are, what you do, and how to contact you right away. That's it. Nobody reads a website for dental practice. But if they see you're the top provider in the area, or the top Invisalign provider, or the top this, or you've got the most reviews, or you've done the most clear aligner cases in your area, that moves the needle. So it's all about the way you put your name out there. It's perception, and it's having the right strategy.
No, thanks for explaining that. And I think you mentioned about, I think, tracking and measurement, right? And using the tools that are out there. But is it possible to measure everything? Because one is the, the tactical, the ad spend that you did, and, let's say the conversion or how many people bought certain products and services.
Right.
But then there is this more of the brand and the equity side of things, where you're building your brand and creating more awareness. So where does that 2x comes in from? It's more from the marketing, ads.
It's all across the board. Marketing, I said, had many components to it. It's not just somebody responding to an ad. It's referrals. So let's just talk about this. There's 5 main ways that you get a patient in dental. 1 is word of mouth. Patient tells how great you are. Okay. 2 is doctor referral. All right. A pediatric dentist, an oral surgeon, a perio, whatever it is, will refer a patient to a doctor. Another, insurance. If you are cover insurance, that's another way that people will find you. Next is through Google searches. People go online and do a search for orthodontist near me, dentist near me, dentist, London, best orthodontist, in Edinburgh, whatever it is, you want to be on the top there. And finally, the last one is through advertising, running Facebook ads, Google ads, print ads, whatever it is. So you have to make sure that you have all of those covered. And at the end of the day, you want to be able to see all these new people come into the practice. And yes, to answer your question, everything is trackable now. Everything. So, I'm proud to say that we built an incredible platform here at Ortho Marketing. It's called Smile Hub, and it automates and tracks everything. So we could basically tell you, here's your pipeline. Here's how many new people came to you, and here's where they are in your journey. So you can see exactly how many new patients came to you and where they came from, how much they're worth. So how much of new potential business is in your pipeline, and where are they in the journey? So if you see that you got 100 leads last month, but from there only 30, booked an appointment, well, something's right. Something's not right. There's a drop in there, so it helps you become more efficient. And then from there, how many of those people who scheduled appointments showed up? And then from there, how many of them started? So you can see every bit of the journey there, and you can see exactly how much money came in from new business, from a referral, as I said, to an ad, to a Google search, across the board. So everything is trackable, everything is reportable, and that's the kind of the world we're in now, is that you can be 100% transparent and know exactly what's going on in your practice 24/7.
Great. No, I think that's, and I think measurement is one of the most key, most important things. And I think it's great to know that you have Smile Hub, where people can have that visual kind of, they know where things are. They know how many people are coming in and how many are actually getting converted. So, they can go back and spend more money on the things that do work.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think let's talk about very specific scenarios, which kind of, I prepared for you, and maybe, we can, learn more from what you think and what should be the actionable items in those scenarios. So let's say what I've done is that I've broken down 3 use cases, different scenarios of someone offering clear aligners, because again, that's where we operate. So let's take, there's one scenario where there is a dentist in a clinic who is general dentist, and they haven't done clear aligners before. They attended few courses. They are excited about clear aligners, but they don't know how to get those people in to get the aligners done from them. So what would be your strategy, or maybe a plan for them, for that particular dentist who's excited but doesn't know how to get started?
Well, there would be 3 components to that. One, as I mentioned, you have 5 ways to get new patients in the door. First is to optimize the website and to put as on your service pages or on your homepage that you offer clear aligners. Okay, and to put that out there, and make sure it's optimized correctly. So if somebody's doing a search for braces, orthodontist, and Invisalign, and there are great clear aligner companies out there, but the reason I keep mentioning Invisalign is they've done an amazing job building their brand, and the world thinks Invisalign is braces. And in the orthodontic industry, more people search the term Invisalign than they do orthodontist or braces. So anybody that is working on with any clear aligner, company should, of course, have promote that as well. But you have to have Invisalign on your website, and then let people get the option of, well, we offer Invisalign, but at the same time, we have this other great program which might be more affordable, more efficient, blah blah blah, and give them the option. But to promote any other clear aligner brand as the only way will not move the needle a bit. But you want to include that on your marketing page on the website. All right, so that's one is to have the add it up to your site and to make sure that it's optimized for Google, so you will get people searching for you and potentially convert them. Number two is to market to your existing patients. If you're a clinic and you've got 50, 100, 200, 500 active patients, you have to let them know that you're offering aligners. You have to offering this. By doing that, there's pretty much a guarantee that you will get business from it because it's just the pure numbers. The average practice can convert 5% of their patients to aligners. So imagine if you got 100 active patients, you should be able to get 5 new starts. You got 1,000, you should be able to get 50 new people. Now, depending upon where your price range is and much you charge, just say you charge $5,000. Well, imagine if you have 500 active patients at $25, 2,500, blah blah blah. That adds up pretty quickly, and then from there, the average person is worth 1.2 people based upon referrals or family members. So for every 5 starts, that's a whole nother person that comes in. So it becomes very cyclical very quickly. So to answer your question, for a practice that just wants to get involved and start, you must put it onto your website to market it, to have a basic SEO strategy, and you have to have an internal marketing strategy to let your patients know that you offer all the services that you have, and you're offering clear aligners now as another service. And now you could do a complete smile makeover. That's the beautiful part about it. Is now you can do what's called the ABC, smiles. A, align, get your teeth straightened. B, bleach them, get them whitened. C, that it would be cosmetic, put in veneers, put in implants, so you get the whole smile makeover versus doing only a piece of it and letting somebody else take the whole part. So by having a smile makeover strategy from a cosmetic perspective, it's also a game changer. And that's a whole nother way to adapt the practice too.
Oh, great. Thanks for sharing that. And you spoke about that every new patient is worth 1.2 patients, and I think that's a referral kind of thing. Where can you talk more about that 1.2 figure? Where does, like,
Mhm.
maybe for other two who do not have an understanding of what
Yeah,
referral
so
and how to factor
I'm
that?
doing this for a long time, and I'm very involved with data. Data doesn't lie. Every practice we work with, we track everything and where they come from and when new patients start. And as I said, based upon numbers throughout the industry, in the dental world, a average patient will have a husband, wife, child, parent, blah blah blah, friend that they will refer out to, and 20% of those people convert. So 1.2%, 1.2 is the number of the growth of a practice. So every patient is worth 1.2. Bring in 10, 5 people, you got
Six.
another patient.
That's brilliant. I never thought of it in that way, but it makes things so simple
Right.
that, for every 5 people you get one free, or whatever you
Right.
want to call it, right? So
Right.
it's very simple. Yeah. So it makes sense. So let's, that was really good for someone who is starting up,
Mhm.
or launching their services within an
Mhm.
existing practice. Now we do have a lot of customers that are, let's say, already doing aligners, and on an average we have seen dentists do 3 to 5 cases who are not promoting actively, right? So they're doing 3 to 5 cases a month of clear aligners, And if you talk to any dentist, they want to double or triple that, but they don't know
Sure.
how. And they're stuck with that average of 3 to 5, and they can't leave it. It's a high margin, product or a service for them. And they're not spending too much time thinking about how they can double it as well. So, like, what are the tactics or something that you will talk to a dentist who is doing those 3 to 5, within an existing practice?
Well, if as long as they're doing it, they've got a decent base, then we need to use that as the jumping start, the jumping pad from there. And as I mentioned before, social proof. So in order to really take things to the next level, you have to start getting patients to give you referrals, to give you reviews, to give you testimonials, and spread the word that way. So the more reviews you get on Google, all right, the more the practice will be seen online, and because everybody searches the reviews. If you're looking to buy a TV, you're going to look at the most reviewed one first, and read the reviews. If you're looking to go to a restaurant, you're going to look at which restaurant has the most reviews in the area. Same thing with a dental practice. The more reviews they have, the more chance of people coming in. So for an existing practice that's active and has a line of patients, start asking for reviews. That you'll see a big difference from there. And then the most important thing is, in order to really kickstart it, is to have an advertising platform in place and to run digital ads and to run in multiple ways. You want to be on Google. Have Google ads. You want to be at the top of Google. You want to have social media ads running. You want to be where people are branded. You want to. Imagine driving down a major highway and you see a billboard. All right. Well, now the internet is a billboard. So everywhere you go, people want to see, you need to show your brand name. So you need to have advertising on Google. You need to advertise on Instagram, Facebook. And then, now there's new programs out there with TikTok and being on YouTube. So you have to be kind of everywhere these days. And that's where a company like Ortho Marketing comes in, is to be the driving force behind it, and to take care of everything for you and drive that ship. Focus on what you do best. A company like us would come in, come up with a strategy, do the market research, see what your competitors are doing, how to position you the best in the market, and then go full force on it from there. So you need to have an advertising budget to do so. Another stat, according to the AAO, American Association of Orthodontics, the average practice should be spending somewhere between 4 to 10% of gross sales on marketing advertising.
Wow.
You're doing $1 million, you should spend, 40, 60, $70,000. 60,000 would be a good number. 5,000 a month. You're doing 2 million, et cetera. And that's the basis. And also the same thing for a dental practice, the same number. A earlier stage practice, you spend a little bit more of their percentage because they don't have a base to work off of. But by having an internal marketing strategy, running the ads, will easily see your numbers go up drastically.
Got it. And like, how do you see that, like doing it internally versus working within agencies? I think what I've seen, and that's very true of Europe and mostly UK and Ireland, I would say, where our base market is that, people try to, do it internally themselves. So they will try out, hiring interns, for example, or let's say someone is doing a leaving cert, or, or their cousins or their nieces and nephews, they'll try to do, and everyone knows how to do social media, but they don't know how to do marketing. And I've seen a lot of people doing that internally first, and working with an external agency, doesn't come, they don't think about that, and they spend all that time, and they think marketing doesn't work, right? So what's your view of, what should be the step one,
Step
for
one
these
is, you
guys? Yeah.
must, if you want to take your practice to the next level, you have to do it right. You have one chance to make a first impression on somebody. And if you come out of the gate and you let your nephew do it, or you let an intern do it, you're going to lose. And the person's going to think badly of you. I'm going to flip it around and say, okay, if you're a dental practice and somebody's looking to get aligners, do you want them to do it themselves? They can, but it's not the best way. All right. They want to use a professional. All right. They could easily get, a direct to consumer program and do it yourself, but they're not going to get the best results. They don't know how to do it. If you want to put a new roof on your house, You could go to Home Depot and learn and buy the materials and do it yourself, but don't hire a roofer. All right, this is important. So if you really are serious about taking a practice to another level, getting more patients in, don't risk it. All right. As I said, working with a company like Ortho Marketing, you get returns. You get a beautiful 2, 3, 4x. Doing it yourself is going to go the other way. And don't take a chance. Plain, I said we have one chance to make a first impression. Do it right.
And then that's why people, they think that marketing doesn't work, and then they stop
Exactly.
doing it,
It
and they're
doesn't
stuck
work
with
because
that
it was done
cycle.
wrong. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
done incorrectly. Or they got burned and they went for the cheapest one. You get what you pay for. Plain and simple. If you want to buy a car and you see one car that is, you compare apples and apples, one car is 30,000 and one is 15. Oh, 15 is a great deal. But then all of a sudden you drive it for, a month and the engine, seizes. There's a reason that it's so cheap. You get what you pay for, plain and simple, so, and you don't, as a dental practice, do you want to be the cheapest one in town? No.
No.
Okay, you want to be the most expensive, or right in the middle or high. I'm going to ask you this question: if you travel and say you go to London and you restaurant row, and you want steak, and you see 4 steak restaurants in a row, and they all have a sign outside, and the first one says steak $20. Next one says steak $20. Next one says steak $20. Next one says steak $40. Which one are you going to?
I'm a vegetarian, so I'll find a vegetarian restaurant. But I'll go. I think that, yeah, I'll go with the most expensive one,
Most
thinking that
people,
high price
yeah,
is good quality, right? And they associate
exactly.
price with quality. Yeah,
You get what you pay for. So,
yeah.
never price should never be an issue when it comes to getting new people in that are there to start. Once you have them there, it's up to you, a team, to convert them and to tell your story and why you are worth the money. As long as you connect with them on the personal level and they feel comfortable, they'll write a check for whatever you want, as long as you're able to tell your story and make them understand that you are the answer to their problem. And when it comes to answer your question again, the long about way. So as a New Yorker, I talk a lot. So to answer your question, um, don't do it yourself. Plain and simple, guys. You must use a company that's got the experience. Don't try with somebody with fly by night. Use somebody that knows what they're doing, that has been doing this before. You don't want them to take a chance with your practice and hope it works. A company like us, we have strategies. We know what it is. We're not throwing stuff against the wall and hope it sticks. We're not going to try something and see maybe this will work on your dime. We have great marketing companies, a tried and true plan to do it. You want to get your teeth straightened? You want to go to somebody that's never done it before and hope that they know what they're doing, or somebody that could do it in their sleep and has success and could show you great results? Because they've done it 20, 50, 100 times, 200 times, 1,000 times already. That's what you want from a marketing person.
Got it. Makes sense. And okay, let's take. We talked about 2 scenarios, right? One
Mm-hmm.
was someone new. One is an existing one. The third category, and this is more from a personal front, right? So, my wife works in a specialty clinic, right? It's all specialized, practitioners. She's the only general dentist, right? And they are not in a habit of doing marketing because they get the referrals in.
Mm-hmm.
So they have never done any outreach or any outbound, right? In reaching out to patients. So she wants to do clear aligners. Now she only does 2 or 3 cases, but then the clinic doesn't want to market because they think that will dilute them being a specialty clinic, having that top tier position in the market for UK and
Right.
Ireland. So that's like, what would you suggest the practice owner to do in this case, when they're stuck with that thinking of being a specialty only clinic?
That is the wrong thinking. You have to be thinking outside the box. You have to be thinking forward and put your glasses on to see what's in the future. Because don't look behind, look forward. All right. And if the goal of the practice is to bring in more patients, You can't just sit and wait for referrals. Okay, it's great that that's your baseline. Okay, and that's your main piece. But in order to move it to the next level, you must include this in there, and especially if you want to do more clear aligners. There are more and more practices that are offering multidisciplinary specialists under their roof every single day. So many of our clients are bringing in, our cosmetic dentists that are bringing in orthodontics, that are orthodontists that are bringing in pediatric, that are everything under one umbrella there, because you don't want them to leave. All right. So if you're a special practice that is doing cosmetic or doing oral surgery or doing implants or whatever it is, you must offer this as part of your smile makeover, as I mentioned before, the ABC. Because if not, they're going to go to someplace else, because people want to get their teeth straighter. All right. If you don't do it, what's going to happen? They'll go to someplace else. So if you are a successful practice and you're doing $1 million, $2 million a year, you could easily take that to 10, 20, 30% increase every year by offering a higher ticket program like, orthodontics, clear aligners, and just work with your existing patient. Imagine if you're a busy practice. For example, how many active patients is in your wife's office have over the last several years? I'm sure they've been around for a while.
The clinic in general, the clinic would have in thousands. Like it's
thousands,
very
exactly.
Yeah.
So imagine an email goes out to all of them. You still have their email address and say, "We're proud to announce that we are offering clear aligners coming in for the special. The XYZ date is our aligner day. We come in and get a scan. Blah blah blah. We'll show you show before and afters if they have the right technology in there. Imagine somebody sitting in the chair and all of a sudden they could see what their teeth will look like in 30 seconds after sitting down. Wow, where do I sign? So, and then from there you market to existing patients that are there. You have information in the office. You promote it that way. You got to just talk to them. That's simple. But if she has thousands of people, the sky's the limit of how much money can be made. Because if her practice is doing it, somebody else will.
And do you think, Dean, that like one of the questions that comes in my mind, and this is a very obvious question. So, dentists are not marketing professionals, right? They don't think from the perspective of what the patient is seeing. So in my understanding, patient wants the outcome. For them, it doesn't matter whether they're going to a general, dentist or they're going to a specialist or, yes, there are differences there as well. But like the thought process being that we are a specialty clinic and, let's not market. We are only here for referrals, right? It will dilute our brand and the position that they have in the market. Do you think that doing marketing dilutes the brand or it improves the brand if you're offering everything?
It enhances it. But again, it's back to what I mentioned, social proof. Don't let your patients get a couple of patients to do it and let them say, "Thank you so much, Dr. Jones. You made my life so much better. Appreciate it. You changed my daughter's, life. You made her so much more confident." Blah blah blah. People who get their teeth straightened do it for a reason. They want to feel better about themselves. If you walk down a busy street in a busy city and you look and just somebody walks by you and they're looking down with a scowl on their face, you think you just don't feel the warm fuzzies. But if somebody just walks by and they're confident, just with a smile, you smile back. All right. So and more people, people who don't have the smile, confident smile, are perceived differently. Are held back. They don't think that they get the job they want. Don't think the promotion they want. Don't get the girl they want, the guy they want. They feel bad about themselves. So it does not dilute you whatsoever. It only enhances the practice, period, because it shows that you're an expert in dental and you're offering this for your patients because you want them to have the full experience and get the full smile that they want. Plain and simple. You're an end-to-end solution versus just part of it.
Got it. Makes sense. That's what I tell her every day as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what are the three trends, Dean, that like you sit with so many dentists, orthodontists, DSOs. What are the trends that you're seeing? Let's count to three, right? So let's say three
Okay.
trends in digital dentistry, because I think that's where our area is.
Hmm.
That you are seeing that you think will change the shape of dentistry, in the next 2 to 3 years or 5 years. What are those trends?
Um, 1, 2, and 3 are all the same answer.
Mm.
It's automation. Okay. Your staff is the biggest hole in every practice. Okay. So when somebody reaches out to an office, the, okay, you want to communicate with them right away, especially from a new patient perspective. And the staff is busy. They can't do it. If somebody fills out a form and requests an appointment and wants more information, if you don't get back to them within 8 minutes, they're going to somebody else. But if you want to go to a restaurant tonight and you fill out a quick form and say I want to 7 o'clock reservation, how long are you going to wait to hear back from them before you go to somebody else? So the first practice that has a meaningful two-way conversation, there's an 80% chance of getting the patient to come in, and automate that. Somebody goes to your website and they fill out a form, that person should automatically get a text and an email right away. Okay. And then if the person doesn't respond back, okay, it automatically goes out again. You have to reach people 8 times in 8 days. All right. That's the world we're in now. And staff can't do it. Do you know how many times I speak to practice and they say, well, these are all bad leads. Well, what happened? Well, we left a message. Left one message? How many times do you pick up your phone when you see a call come in and you don't know who it is? Never. All right. So most people don't answer their phone. So if you leave a message, you need to constantly reach out to them multiple ways, and that's automation. That's what makes it do it. So your staff, focus on what you do best. When people sit in the chair, talk to them, help them understand the value of the practice, help them understand how you're going to change their life. Focus on patient success. Let technology work for you. So practices that are adapting to technology and adapting to automation and embracing them are the ones that are and will be the successful ones. So that is, in my eyes, automation, automation, automation. Because if not, you're left behind. All right, you have to do that. Like I went to a restaurant the other night. I went on, booked an appointment. Booked a reservation. I got a text the day before. You see you tomorrow. I got a text an hour beforehand. Your reservation is in an hour from now. I got a text 2 hours late afterwards. Thank you. Hopefully, how did you enjoy our meal? Please click here to give us a review. It was perfect. The staff didn't have to do it. Okay, it makes your practice so much more efficient, effective, and will move the needle significantly. So practices must adapt, must be able to get the patients to communicate with them in multiple ways, as I said, not just pick up the phone and call. People don't answer the phone anymore. And so you want to reach them through chat, through text, through email, through phone. Everything should be automated. Because a busy mom, think about it, if a busy mom wants to, get aligners for their kid, she's going to do it at 7, 8 at night after dinner, look online because she's busy. Your practice is not open. Typical practice, there's 24 hours in a day, and your practice is only open 9 to 5. That's 8 hours. So 2/3 of the day, you're not there. But a busy mom might go online at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 in the morning before you're open. She might go on lunchtime, look online. You're closed. You're not answering the phone. So this has to be a self-running machine. And practices that we see that have adapted to technologies that embrace automation are killing it right now.
And how much
So
of communication is over communication? Like,
yeah,
do you
exactly.
think
It's
there
all
is
about.
any, is anything like, can you over communicate? Like, is it like maybe, 10 times is too much or 5 times is good? Like,
Nope.
is there a number for that or?
There is no, because you have to remember, the patient reached out to you, not the other way around. So there's no limit of how many times you can reach out to them. You want to have the right message in place, and they're called drip campaigns. So if somebody you reach them and you send this message out X many times, then the next message could be more educational, or check out this video, or check out our reviews, or we love to, you have any questions, instead of just pushing appointment. The first few are automated that way, and then it goes into another sequence from there. So but you don't want to be too annoying, but you want to be just the right amount. As I said, the ideal number is to reach out to people 8 times in 8 days through multiple different ways. And then from there, scale back, and then go weekly, and then go monthly, then quarterly. But at least you still want to keep them in your pipeline, and every quarter an email goes out or a text reminder goes out. So many practices that we work with are bringing in patient starts that are over 6 months after the patient first initially spoke to them, or more. Think about it. Your staff, after 30 days, they made 1 or 2 phone calls. They're never calling them again. You lost them. So keep that. So by using technology, it's a game changer again. So, in my eyes, 2024 and 25, that's as far as I'll go out right now, because I don't know what's going on past that. Automation, automation, automation.
That's brilliant. Dean, last question.
Yeah.
I know you're a busy man, so how is a day in life of Dean? Like as a president of Ortho Marketing and in the personal space as well. Like, how is a typical day for you? How do you space out your day?
Oh man, I can't even wrap my head around the things that I do all day. But typical day is just meeting after phone call, after podcast, after staff meetings, with client meetings. But same day, I like to try to have fun. So I'm a big dad joke guy, so I try to make myself laugh every day. So if you want a quick joke, here's one of my favorite ones is, how does the hamburger introduce his girlfriend? Meet Patty. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So typically, I like to just, I listen to music a lot. Constantly have music playing. Communicating. Big family. I love to talk to my kids. Run a family business here. My son works with me. My wife works with me. My daughter's part of the company, so we're all together from there. I'm always looking at new strategies, new technologies, new ways to move the needle for our clients. And I love to meet with my clients as much as possible, either via Zoom or in person, just to touch base, see how they're doing. So when I look up, I'm in my office by 7 a.m. When I look up, it's noon. Then all of a sudden I look up again, it's 5 o'clock. I'm like, okay. I then hit the pedal to finish it up. And after that, go on the treadmill, blah, 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 and then sit down and finally breathe and binge watch something good.
Great.
So that's
I think
day.
that's a very busy, but it's a very spaced out schedule as well. So I think thanks for sharing that,
Yep,
Dean, and thanks for all the insights. And I think the tactics. And I hope that people get an understanding and they remove the glasses that they're wearing and wear these new glasses where it's a must. Marketing is a must.
It is.
What are the last parting thoughts, Dean, on marketing?
Parting is people, just think outside the box, do a little research. And remember, if it's too cheap, there's a reason behind it. Don't be the cheapest in town. If you've been burned from marketing before, think of why it happened and did you use the right company out there. And just a little, push here. If anybody out there is looking for help, just reach out to us at Ortho Marketing. Hit me up at Dean of Ortho Marketing. I'm all over LinkedIn, all over social media, and love to just talk to you about your practice, learn a little bit more of what you're doing. And I know that we can help out. We've got clients all over the world we work with. We've got clients in the US, we got clients in Canada, we have clients in Europe, we have clients in Australia, we got clients all over the world. So we love making people smile. So if you're in the smile business and you want to smile more, reach out to us. I'd love to be able to chat, see how we can help you, and just keep each other on the radar. If you're not ready to make a move now, just say hello. I'd love to talk and see how we can help you down the road. And that's our little pitch there. So, but thank you so much. I really appreciate you being on. This was a lot of fun, man.
Great. Thanks, Dean.
You're welcome. Cheers. All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
See you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you are, entering into the journey of starting your own clear aligner services, or setting up a manufacturing unit, or setting up a chain of clinics offering clear aligners, you need a really good quality software which should have the case management side of things, which should have a remote monitoring side of things, and also should be white labeled. SmileGenius Dental provides you all in one software to do everything that you will need on those key areas. We provide you with the doctor's portal, which is the dentist facing portal where they can submit the cases and remote monitor the patient's progress. We provide the labs with the lab case management side of things, where they can manage the incoming requests from the doctors, but also have visibility of the operation side from the patient side as well. And then we have provided you with the patient monitoring app, because it's all about compliance and engagement at the end. So SmileGenius Dental is the all-in-one platform which is white labeled for your brand, to provide you with your consumers with that end-to-end experience, to provide more efficiency and productivity to your business without needing you to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of development time to build the software yourself. So call in to our team or book an appointment with us, and we'll be happy to walk you through what Smile Genius is all about. But until next time, stay tuned for the next really good episode of the Digital Dentistry Deep Dive podcast.